Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we're going to be talking about the PlayStation 5 Pro and why I kind of think it's actually still in stock. And right now, it's kind of crazy too because, well, it is still in stock. Especially coming off the really big PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and NVIDIA just restock drought that basically let people not have consoles for around 3 to 4 years. It's kind of crazy to go think that as of right this literal second, you can, and well, most likely people are going to buy the PlayStation 5 Pro. And I just want to give you guys maybe my little yap session, and I want to hear your thoughts and comments on everything of why you guys think the console still is in stock. And of course, as well, this doesn't really take away from the console. I still think a lot of folks are hyped up for it. I myself am excited for it, and I cannot wait to go and see and hear more news. I know a lot of people in the community itself, based on the YouTube comments and tweets, have also had a chance to go pick up the console itself, so I'm very excited for all of us. So obviously, if you guys did not get the console for whatever reason, we do have an ongoing PS5 Pro giveaway. Whenever the L can actually get shipped on up, my pre-order is all good, so subscribe here, subscribe to our second YouTube channel, link down below, and follow both the Twitter accounts, the main scrubbing Twitter account, which we'll do a lot of gaming news on, and then I'll have a secondary Twitter just for my actual usual Twitch in live streams and all that stuff. Those are linked down below, and of course, give me your thoughts and comments on the video itself. So, this is kind of crazy for me, and in all honesty, I wasn't really fully expecting this. Or right this second, if you guys wanted to, you can still get your early access order for the PS5 Pro. And this is now technically a few days into the drop itself, and if you guys have remembered all the prior drops, usually things would be selling out instantaneously. Like we're talking the PS5 Pro would be done. Like right now, if this was the peak of 2020, this thing would be literally destroyed for the next 6 months with no hope. And I think people will be very, very sad about it. And well, right now, you can literally just go and sign on in and get it like right now. If you guys are watching this video right this second, you can go and get it. And I do think a lot of people have. Based on Twitter, based on comments, and I may even run a poll on the YouTube account, a lot of people have actually picked it up and updated. But there's also a few people that are waiting to basically turn in their prior console as a trade-in value and get consoles, and some people are also just waiting for like, the next gen retailers, which is totally fine. But I think that there's a few reasons why the Pro is still in stock, and I want to hear your thoughts. So number one, I think the biggest thing is that, well, first and foremost, there isn't that many crazy games. One kind of big critique I've had on the PlayStation 5 Pro, and even though I bought one myself, especially to give one out, is I just don't think there's that many games that I'm super excited for. I've mentioned in prior videos, Monster Hunter Wilds is probably going to be the best selling point and best reason to get it. PC recommendations are a little bit high, and as well, it is a very good value for if you're a very niche fan of that, well, game. World, I think, sold over 10 million copies, and it's just crazy. A lot of Monster Hunter people are crazy and very committed to their game. It's like their game they play, like World of Warcraft level, like that is their game they play. So I think that's a nice reason. GTA 6 in the future, but it's not out yet, and a few other games like Death Stranding, sure, we've covered that in the channel itself. But I just don't think there's anything right this second that is making people going absolutely bananas to get their consoles. Maybe if Wukong launches a PS5 Pro, such with how well it's done over in China and other regions, it might be okay. But right now, there isn't any major games that people are anticipating. I can even maybe see a huge resurgence of the GTA 6 causing PS5 Pros to sell out, especially with bundles, which in all honesty, I could probably actually see that. But there is no major big game. So there's nothing cool like a upcoming God of War that I can't wait for. Any major title that everyone's like, I need to get this. Think like Nintendo in a brand new Zelda game or even a brand new Mario game. That would be a massive console mover. And well, we have cool updates on prior gen, like, the Gran Turismos or Spider-Mans, which I'm into, and that's why I'm kind of getting mine. But it really doesn't seem like it matters that much, because you could still play almost all these games on the prior PS5, which is technically our second point, is that I do think there's a lot of people who already own PS5s, and this is more of a bonus rather than like a need. I would say a PS4 to PS5 is a big enough graphical update that it was a good value at the time, especially with pandemic and people at home, etc. Like, it just makes more sense then. Same thing for, like, say, the PS5 to PS6. It'll probably be most likely a way bigger upgrade, which might make it harder for the PS5 Pro to PS6, but I think from pure PS5 to PS6, I think a lot of people are okay with that overall upgrade. But this is, like I said, it's a want rather than a need. In theory, a PS5 is not really, you guys know what I mean. Where it's cool, it's nice, it's bonus, but do you really need to go spend $700 when you could also just spend $450 and get a digital edition and be fine? I think most people are okay with that. They don't mind. Plus, you also have to buy the actual disk drive too, which does add up an additional cost, which does make things a little bit harder. So I do think those are two major reasons. Number three, I do think the price is a little high. A lot of people had the initial reaction for the general quote-unquote normie squad that kind of thought like $700 was a lot of money. I really think it was. I mean, like at this point, if I didn't have a PlayStation, I would buy this Pro in a heartbeat. I'm obviously a YouTuber. I want to give one away, so I'll gladly go get one. But I do think the value is still good, though. Same with the PlayStation VR 2. It was a good value for what you got and what you can go and get. So if you don't have a PC and you don't have a PS5 already, yes, people are going to get this. And I think people are excited because some people were like, hey, it took me 2 years to get a PS5. I'm just going to wait for the PS5 Pro at this point. We were hearing rumors about it like 8 months ago. It kind of makes sense. But as well, we also don't have a crazy number one, basically just the pandemic, which put a lot of people at home and kept people on their chairs and computers and had like a lot more remote from work as well. But on top of that, the semiconductor and supply chain issues are way easier. Like they're sorted. Like their semiconductor price points are way cheaper. We've had a chance to go and build up stock. Things are not running at like 110% right now. And while they're still bumping and churning, it's not as crazy as a lot of people expected. And of course, as well, with a slightly higher price point, which also means slightly less demand. Same with the other, slightly less demand with people already having PS5s or even some people moving to PC, or overall just the fact that maybe games also may have actually decreased the demand too, because there's just not as many crazy games. I think that's almost like a perfect storm, because it did seem like there was some almost crazy stock wise where people were speculating that PlayStation and Xbox actually were limiting stock available to almost have like this weird mass appeal. Hearing the news that every week your console's selling out is a huge marketing drive, and some people were even rumoring back then that there was a chance that PlayStation was quite literally forcing a scarcity on their consoles. Now, I don't really think that's that true, but at the same time, it was a massive marketing move. And of course, as well, also botters. It doesn't seem like there's as many botters and scalpers, although there is still a lot when it comes to the PlayStation 5 30th Anniversary Edition, which that is a completely different storm in all honesty. But for this one, I don't think there's many people trying to resell it. They don't have to, because it seems like PlayStation, on our next point, actually had a lot of stock. Now, we pretty much knew this console was out for like 10 months, 11 months. We saw the initial leaks forever ago. And while a lot of people were naysayers and didn't fully believe it, I myself was like, yeah, this sounds about right. A few years into the console generation, which it doesn't really feel like that due to the pandemic and some people getting their consoles 2 or 3 years in and being happy about it. But as well, like, it just makes sense. It makes absolute perfect sense. It's been like 4 years, get the refresher, make a little extra money, but at the same time, all these other things all combined kind of make sense of why people aren't getting it, because $700 is harder to go and scalp. Because if you want to even make money on that scalp, you'd have to sell it for like, what, $900, $1,000? And that really is the price of basically a PC. And the limited edition was $1,000, yes, but you got other things in the bundle, and it was unique and rare, and most likely would hold this value a lot better than a normal PS5 Pro. And on top of that, too, it seems like at the same time, PlayStation probably learned from the prior generation, such as the PS5, where they probably made way more consoles because we knew about it for so long. So if we already knew about it, I'm sure many other people knew about it even earlier. They had to keep it quiet. Production and people making the consoles. So I'm sure the stock right now is in the millions sitting around. Because PlayStation probably doesn't want to have another sold out issue for something like a Pro, because, well, they want people to be excited about this one. These are more the enthusiasts and it costs more money. So at the same time, like, there's a lot of issues that came with it. Mainly too, because they also try to launch the 30th anniversary, which a lot of people hyped up for, and maybe people just decided to go and get the Pro instead when those sold out. But I saw a lot of people who kind of just gave up. They wanted to get the PS5 Pro for the anniversary edition. They didn't get it, so they just didn't even buy anything in the first place. And as well, too, with, like I said, more people going to PC and even mobile gaming, or even also handheld gaming, some people have also maybe shifted their focus from 4 years ago or so. Plus, some people are also waiting for the Switch 2. Some people are okay with their old prior console. I know a lot of people like that. And there's just a lot of various small regions of why this was still an issue. So I think the stock itself has just been nice. Like, I really think they just churned out and saved as much stock. And we also even saw the PSVR 2 where they kind of seemed like they were overproducing stuff as well. So most likely it'll probably be the same thing too for the PS5 Pro. So I hope they don't have to sit on stock for forever, but I do think those combinations of all those things, the price point, the amount of time for them to make the console, not being a pandemic, at the same time too, people already have PS5s and no major games coming out, are some of the more top defining factors of why the PS5 Pro is still in stock. Now we're going to have to go and see throughout the next few days to see if it does actually go and sell out, because it does seem like I keep on seeing people buying them, and some people don't even know it's even came out because people are looking at the 30th anniversary instead of this one. So I'll be kind of curious on what you guys think. Are there any other reasons? I'm sure there's quite a few that you guys think down below of why the PS5 Pro didn't sell out. Do you guys think it's a flop? Is it bad? I would love to hear your thoughts and comments on everything down below. And make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on for our upcoming PS5 Pro giveaway. And of course, follow both the Twitters and both the YouTube accounts if you guys want bonus entries for it. I could have you guys on up at least in case you guys never bought one in the first place. And of course, for the Twitch too as well, make sure you guys are over there. We're doing like a fun September throughout the week, so we'll probably get some drinks, so follow down below if you guys would like. Appreciate you guys all so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys all later on throughout today for more videos, and I do think that this console still has potential, so I have to go and see at the end of the day of what it turns into.